Hello boys and girls, this is Grandma Nancy, and I'm going to read to you a story about Kody traveling. It is a wonderful story about Jesus' life on earth, and each chapter will tell you special things about what Jesus did, and it can give you some good thinking too. I think you'll really like it. Hello boys and girls, this is Grandma Nancy again, and we're going to be reading another story about Kody travels. This is from Matthew, the chapter 16. It is Sunday and it's another good Lord's Day. Here comes Kody to church with Grandma Pam and Grandpa Mike. He stayed overnight with them. After some church time and communion, Kody takes Great Grandma's hand and heads off to Sunday school. Hey Kody, let's just you and me stay out here under the trees and go on one of our special trips. I think that would be enough time to do it. Okay, Grandma Nancy, let's just sit here and close our eyes. Here we go. Take my hand, Grandma. Hold tight. We're traveling pretty fast. There it is, and there's Jesus. It is something how we are so easily drawn to him. I wonder what is going to happen this time, Kody. Look, Grandma, those religious guys are after Jesus again. They want some kind of a sign. Grandma, Jesus says something about Jonah and then walked away. Well, I don't blame him, Kody. Did you hear what Jesus said, Kody? Yes. He told his disciples that they should watch out for that those guys teach, because it isn't always what Jesus teaches. We have to be careful to teach only what Jesus says, Kody. I like what you teach me, Grandma. Good. And you do pay good attention, Kody. Kody, Jesus is off on one of his long walks again. He really walks a lot, doesn't he? He has to walk to get where he's going. He doesn't have a car like we do. That means we have to walk too, so we'll just sit here and rest, and then we'll catch up in a little while. Since we have rested now, we can catch up easier. We should sit over here and listen again. Kody, Jesus is asking Peter something. Peter answers that Jesus is the Son of God. Wow, Grandma, isn't that something? What then does Jesus say, Kody? That Peter was right, and that Jesus was going to build his church someday. I don't understand all that, Grandma. Oh, you will someday, Kody. We'd better get back home, Kody. Church is about over. But wait a minute, Jesus is still talking. Jesus said he has to go to Jerusalem and suffer. Well, what does that mean, Grandma? Peter didn't like what Jesus was saying, so Jesus scolded him good. Wow, Grandma. It sounds like troubles are ahead for Jesus. Kody, Jesus did say he would have angels to help him and that he was going to have a kingdom. Grandma, this is getting a little deep for me. Let's go home. Okay, let's go home. And here we are right under the trees, and look, everyone is getting out of church. We came back just in time. Let's do it again another Sunday, Grandma. Oh, that would be fun, Kody. Bye, Grandma. Hey, Grandpa, guess where we've been? Come on, Kody, I can imagine, but it's dinner time and we need to go home now. Hello boys and girls, this is Grandma Nancy, and I'm going to read to you a story about Kody traveling. It is a wonderful story about Jesus' life on earth, and each chapter will tell you special things about what Jesus did. And it can give you some good thinking too. I think you'll really like it. Hello, boys and girls. I'm back. This is Grandma Nancy, and we're going to study another chapter in Matthew 17. And this is Kody Travels. Oh, Kody, we're glad you stopped by today. You know, we're getting you pretty used to your special trips. Sit over here and let's do some planning. Why don't you and Caleb go this time and take Buddy? I got terribly tired last time. You younger ones go and then tell me all about it when you get back. Grandpa, there's Caleb. Hey, Caleb, would you like to go on a trip with me? I have to do chores, Kody. But this won't take long, Caleb, and we can take Buddy too. Caleb, put your hand on Buddy's head like this. And that was it. They were off, all of them together. Oh my, we're going through a big cloud, and here we are. This is Jerry's Jesus. I told you it wouldn't take long. Now what? Come here, buddy. Caleb, I'm glad you came because we have a mountain to go up. You too, buddy. Maybe you will see some sheep up there. Wait, look, Kody, look at Jesus. His face is glowing and his clothes are turning white. I have never seen him look like this before. Wow. We better not get too close, but let's keep watching. Just then, Buddy barked. There's Peter, James, and John, and two others who are talking with Jesus. They really look old, Caleb. It appears that those are Moses and Elijah. Oh my. Peter has a few things to say. Can you hear him, Kody? Yes, but I can't believe my ears. Someone else is speaking, and I can't see anyone. That voice is saying, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear ye him. Well, that came out of the clouds, Kody. I wonder if that was God talking. Look, now the disciples are bowing to the ground, and they seem afraid. I don't blame them, Caleb. I'm scared too. Here, take my hand and hang on to Buddy. Jesus and his 3 disciples are now walking down the mountain and talking about Elijah and the preaching of John the Baptist. Caleb, let's see what happens now. Come on, buddy. Let's look at all the people. Another big crowd, Kody, and here comes a man really excited. I wonder what he's so disturbed about. Look, he has a son, and Jesus is casting a demon out of him. Isn't that something? Buddy barked over that. Caleb, I don't understand a lot of this. Jesus is scolding his disciples because they did not have enough faith to help that boy. I hope I have enough faith at my age. Keep learning, Kody. Keep learning. Kody, I think Jesus is staying around for a while. Maybe we should go home, Caleb. Buddy barked, and he liked that idea. But wait, Jesus is talking again about being betrayed and killed, and then rising again. Boy, I don't understand all of that, Caleb. Kody, Jesus is going on into a town now, and he's talking about catching a fish and finding a coin in its mouth to pay some kind of a tax. That would be fun to find a fish with money in its mouth, Caleb. Maybe we could go fishing too. No, I don't think so, Kody. But let's go home now. Okay, Buddy likes that too, so let's go. And here we are, home. And we better get those chores done, Caleb, before Grandpa Mike comes looking for us. Come on, Buddy, we need to hurry along. boys and girls. This is Grandma Nancy, and I'm going to read to you a story about Kody traveling. It is a wonderful story about Jesus' life on earth, and each chapter will tell you special things about what Jesus did, and it can give you some good thinking too. I think you'll really like it. Hello again, boys and girls. We're ready for another chapter in the story of Kody Travels. This comes from Matthew 18. Grandma Pam, will you go on a trip with me? Sure, I would like that, Kody. I need to get these groceries carried in and put away first. And I will help you, Grandma. Do you want a bite to eat before we go? Yes, we should eat first. I don't know how long it will take. Here's a sandwich, and how about some ice cream? Thanks, Grandma. I see you like ice cream too. And guess what? When they both dipped their spoons in that good stuff, it was goodbye for now. Oh, Grandma, this is your first trip, isn't it? Yes, it is. How fast are we traveling? I don't know, but I think some call it time travel. Oh boy, we are about there now. And there's Jesus, Grandma, and we're always sit to the side so we can watch and listen. See that, Grandma? Jesus has someone close to my age sitting on his lap, and there are the disciples sitting close around him. Those disciples want to know who is going to be the greatest. But Jesus says for them to be more like this child. Well, Grandma, he's talking about kids like me. You are right, Kody. Kody, did you hear that? We adults are to be careful of our example for you children. Grandma, Jesus just said we children have angels in God's presence in our behalf. What does that mean, Grandma? Well, I'm not sure, Kody, but it sounds like children have angels that are there with God to be helpful. Wow. Kody, Jesus is talking now about how he has come to save the lost, like a lost sheep, that Jesus just said, that if you have your feelings hurt, we should still try to get along with one another. He said that even if there are only 2 or 3 people together, he would be with them. He likes people to get along together. Yes, Kody, we should try harder back home. Look, Grandma, Peter's talking to Jesus and asking him how many times we should forgive someone. That's hard to do at school. Yes, it is, Kody. But listen to this. Jesus just said we are to forgive someone 70 times 7. How many is that, Grandma? Almost more than you can count, Kody. It is hard to forgive even one time, sometimes. Boy, this is getting deep for me, Grandma. I know, Kody, but listen up. Jesus tells of a guy that owed a lot of money to a king. And when he asked the king for forgiveness, the king forgave him and everything that the man owed him. That was nice of him, Grandma. Yes, but listen to the rest of the story. That same guy had someone who owed him $16. And the guy threw that man in prison, even though the man asked for forgiveness. Well, that's not right, Grandma. He didn't owe very much. Yeah, and there's even more to the story. Listen now. The king heard about that, what the man did, and he didn't like it. So the king said, since you didn't forgive that man who owed you money, then I'm going to have you pay me back what you owe me. You see, Kody, the man was unforgiving, and look what happened to him. What does that all mean, Grandma? Kody, God wants us to forgive others, or he won't forgive us of our wrongdoings. Grandma, that is something big to think about, isn't it? Yes, it is, Kody. Why don't we go home and do some thinking? This has been a big day. Guess what? When Kody and Grandma got home, they were just finishing that ice cream. Are there any more groceries to carry in, Grandma? No, Kody, I'm pretty tired for some reason. How about you? Hello, boys and girls. This is Grandma Nancy, and I'm going to read to you a story about Kody traveling. It is a wonderful story about Jesus' life on earth, and each chapter will tell you special things about what Jesus did, and it can give you some good thinking too. I think you'll really like it. Hello, boys and girls. Today in our story about Kody travels, we're going to look at the book of Matthew and the chapter 19. Kody, come, let's go fishing in Grandpa's pond. Okay, Dad, I can't wait. Do you think we'll catch a bass? Probably a catfish, but let's see. Boy, look at the bobber bobbing up and down. It's a big one. Kody, it's a 3 or 4 pound catfish. And there goes your bobber, Dad. It's another big one. We'll have a meal for Great-Grandma and Great-Grandpa. They will like that. Dad, how about you and me going on a real trip together? Let's see if Jesus is doing some fishing. Maybe we can fish with him. And when Kody and his dad finally landed those big fish and put them on a stringer, they smiled great big, and that's all it took. Time slipped backwards, and now they found themselves in that land of years ago. Dad, Jesus left Galilee where they fished, and now he is at the Jordan River. Okay, let's just drop in there. Look at all those people, and Jesus is healing them like usual. Dad, here comes those uptown religious leaders. Yeah, I see them, Kody, and they're all over Jesus about marriage. I would rather fish, Dad. Me too, son, but look. Look, Dad, Jesus is blessing those children like me. I see, Kody. Let's watch from here for now. Okay, Dad. Look, Kody, here comes a rich-looking guy. He's asking Jesus how he would have eternal life. What's that, Dad? Well, let's listen. We may get the answer. Hear that? Jesus just simply told him to keep the commandments. We can read those in the Bible, Dad. Yes, we have the Bible at home, and we can read them there. Now Jesus is telling that rich man to go and sell everything he has and give it to the poor people. Then he would have treasures in heaven. Dad, do we even have treasures in heaven? Probably, but likely not enough. What do you think that rich man will do, Dad? I don't really know, son, but look, he's just walking away from Jesus. He's probably very rich, and that would be very hard for him to sell everything. Kody, did you hear what Jesus just said? Oh my, he said that few rich people will make it to heaven. Oh, and now Peter's talking. Can you hear him? Yes. Peter wonders what will happen since he and others have given up so much to follow Jesus. How about Jesus' answer? Jesus assures the disciples that they will be important in his kingdom. And listen, Dad, if we all follow Jesus, there will be great rewards. I like that, Dad. I like that too, Kody. We still must be careful, Kody, because a lot of people are going to be disappointed. Jesus just said that those who think they are first are going to end up last. Oh my, that's getting too deep for me, Dad. Well, let's head home now. Yes, fishing in Grandpa's pond is easier than all of this. Okay, Kody, there it is, and here we are. Look, there goes your bobber again. Yours too, Dad. Now what? Well, it looks like it will take a while to get all these fish ready for the frying pan. I know, Dad, but that was a fun trip. Let's do it again sometime. We'll see. Pull in your line, Kody. Let's go and see Great-Grandpa and Great-Grandma and have a fish fry tonight. Hello, boys and girls. This is Grandma Nancy, and I'm going to read to you a story about Kody traveling. It is a wonderful story about Jesus' life on earth, and each chapter will tell you special things about what Jesus did, and it can give you some good thinking too. I think you'll really like it. Here we are. This is Grandma Nancy, and we're going to read another story from Kody Travels, from chapter 20 of Matthew. Oh, Kody, let's go watch the fireworks. Okay, Grandma Pam. Can Skippy go too? That's fine, but we have to hurry. Oh, and look, Grandma, I can't believe all of that. Look how high they go and those explosive flashes and sparkles. Those colors are beautiful, Grandma. Yes, they are, Kody, and look how high that last one went. Grandma, if you and I went on a special trip, we would go farther than all of those. Do you want to give it a try, Kody? Oh, I sure do, Grandma. Let's close our eyes and see if it's time for another venture. Oh, my, and here we go. You too, Skippy. Hold my hand, Kody. Okay, and we're already close to the Bible lands, just like before. It's a good time to travel, Grandma. We're drifting down now, and there's Jesus. Grandma, Jesus is telling one of his stories. Well, what's he saying, Kody? He says that his work on earth is like a man who hired workers to go to his fields. I guess he hires them at different times of the day. But when he pays them at the end of the day, he pays them all the same amount. Those who worked the longest didn't like that. I don't understand, Grandma. Now listen, Kody. The landowner then said, "Is it not okay for me to pay as I decide?" Grandma, listen what Jesus concludes. So the last shall be first, and the first last. For many are called, but few chosen. Kody, we can think more about that when we get home. Okay, Grandma. Now Jesus is headed to Jerusalem, Kody. And let's sit over here and catch up later. We need to rest a little. Here we are at Jerusalem, Grandma. Did you hear what Jesus just said? I hid behind that tree, and he said that he would be betrayed and put to death. Wow, Grandma, that doesn't sound good. But he did say he would come back in 3 days. Kody, that sounds terrible. But let's just sit here and listen some more. Grandma, here comes a woman with her 2 sons. And what are they saying, Kody? It sounds like she wants her sons to be very important among Jesus' followers. But he says only God can do that. Listen to this, Grandma. Jesus just said that, "Whosoever will be chief among you, let him be your servant." And then Jesus said that he came to serve and to give his life for others. Do you understand that, Grandma? Yes, I'll explain more when we get back home. Look, Kody, there are 2 blind men, and they want Jesus to heal them. Watch, and we'll see what happens. Grandma, Jesus is walking up to the men. He touches their eyes, and guess what? They can see, and they are now following Jesus. They are so happy. Let's go with them, Grandma. Well, I'd like to, but we better get on back home. It's getting late, back at the farm. Okay, it won't take long. Time means nothing, you know. Yeah, that's right. And look, there goes the last of the fireworks. It's all over. People are leaving, so let's head back to the farm. I'm ready, Grandma. That was sure beautiful. Thanks for taking me and Skippy to see the fireworks. Hello, boys and girls. This is Grandma Nancy, and I'm going to read to you a story about Kody traveling. It is a wonderful story about Jesus' life on earth, and each chapter will tell you special things about what Jesus did, and it can give you some good thinking too. I think you'll really like it. Good morning, boys and girls. This is Grandma Nancy again, and we're going to be reading a story, Kody Travels, and this one is from Matthew 21. It is church day, and Kody is sitting next to Grandpa Mike, as he does so often on Sunday. Kody likes to sing and answer some of the Bible questions that are asked. Kody doesn't take the communion, but watches while the others do. And then, as they all waited for Great-Grandma to play the piano, Kody asked Grandpa Mike, "Can we go on a quick trip?" "We better wait, Kody." "Well, here, take my hand, Grandpa." And they took each other's hands and zap, there they went. Goodbye for now, everyone, and they were off on a quick trip. "See those cows down there, Grandpa? Watch out, close your eyes. We're going to go through some clouds now." "You've done this before, haven't you, Kody?" "Yeah, and many times. And look, there's Jesus." "Grandpa, I think this is Jerusalem, and there's Jesus riding on a donkey." "This is something to see, Kody. Look at all those happy people. They really like Jesus." "Grandpa, Jesus stopped to pray with tears in his eyes, but he's going on into the temple." "Kody, take my hand and stand over here with me. It's so crowded." "Oh my, Jesus is really upset. He's turning the tables over, and all the money on the tables is flying everywhere. Jesus is running out all those money changers in the temple. Jesus said he wasn't going to have his temple a den of thieves. And now Jesus is helping and healing people. But those big shot religious guys aren't very happy, are they?" "No, Kody, they don't like what Jesus did." "Grandpa, Jesus is leaving and going somewhere. We usually sit here a while and catch up later." "Jesus went to another town, but on the way back, he sees a fruitless fig tree." "Jesus was disappointed because he was hungry." "Well, Grandpa, Jesus said something to that tree, and it's withering." "Kody, Jesus doesn't like it when something doesn't bear fruit." "Grandpa, Jesus says something about faith and the importance of prayer, and now he's headed back to the temple." "Well, let's follow along, Kody, and watch." "Okay, Grandpa." "Oh my, those same mean men are after Jesus again, and they're giving him another hard time. Jesus is talking right back at them and really embarrasses them this time. They try to trick Jesus with questions, but it never works. Jesus is speaking about two sons. One disappoints his dad, and the other makes him happy by doing what his dad says. Now Jesus is talking about some wicked guys who take over a farmer's farm. The owner comes and gets rid of them and hires new workers." "Oh, Grandpa, I don't like all of this. I don't even get it." "Kody, it's pretty deep, but I think Jesus is talking about those religious know-it-alls. That's the same with Jesus' future followers. He's getting rid of those kind and helping those who truly accept his teaching, those who are willing to follow Jesus. That sounds good to me, Grandpa. Look, Kody, those religious leaders can tell Jesus is talking about them. Let's get close to their huddle. Yes, take my hand, Kody. Those guys want to actually eliminate Jesus. Be a good boy. Well, that's a lot to think about for this time, and I think we should be making our way back home, don't you? Yes, Grandpa. And look, here we are, right back where we were sitting in church a little while ago. Great-Grandma is just finishing her piano playing, and I sure like how she plays the piano, don't you? I think I better go along now to Sunday school with Great-Grandma. I'll see you later. Hello, boys and girls. This is Grandma Nancy, and I'm going to read to you a story about Kody traveling. It is a wonderful story about Jesus' life on earth, and each chapter will tell you special things about what Jesus did, and it can give you some good thinking too. I think you'll really like it. Hello, boys and girls. This is Grandma Nancy. We're going to take another travel with Kody. And this travel time will take us into Matthew 22. Dad, will you go with me? Go where, Kody? Do you want that ice cream again? No, Dad. It's Jesus. It looked like he headed for a lot of trouble, and I would like to go back and be there with him. I'm pretty busy, Kody, but we'll find some time for this. And what do we do, Kody? Well, you just sit here in the Davenport with me, Dad. Okay, how's this? Oh, that's fine. Hold on. Here we go. And I think this is what they call time travel. I like it. It doesn't take long, and we are there. It looks familiar now, so here we are, and there is Jesus, not very far away. Dad, let's stand over here a little closer where we can hear better. Look, Dad. Those same troublemakers are giving Jesus a hard time. And I can hear Jesus telling them a story. And it's about a king who invited some people to his son's wedding. They won't come, and some got nasty about it. Oh, now Jesus said that the king got so upset that he really fixed those people. The king just went out and invited other people from all around to come to the wedding instead. Was that the end of the story? No, Jesus went on to say that one fellow came, but he didn't dress right for the wedding. Well, what happened to him? Oh, Jesus threw him out. But listen to this, Kody. Jesus said, "For many are called, but few are chosen." I don't know what that means, Dad, but it sounds pretty serious. Do you think Jesus will choose us? I hope so, Kody. We need to try harder, don't we? And look, Kody, I see what you mean. Those same old troublemakers are giving Jesus more trouble. They asked Jesus if they should pay tribute to Caesar. What else, Dad? Listen, Jesus asked someone to give him a coin with Caesar's image on it, and he said they should give Caesar what is his and pay honor to God also. And now those guys are just walking off. I don't think they liked his answer. Do you, Dad? Oh my, here come some more people, and look at the trouble on their faces, Dad. I'm sure glad we came to be with Jesus during his rough time the people are giving to him. These people like to ask Jesus questions to see if he can answer them. And then the people don't like the answers that they get. Listen. Let's listen to what they ask next. They asked Jesus about who is going to be married to who in the resurrection, and if they had been married more than one time, and if their mate had died. Oh, that's too deep for me, Dad. I know, Kody, but Jesus told them we will all be like angels when we die, so forget what you're asking about. Don't worry about those things, Kody, because God is big enough to handle all things. God is the God of all the living. It is amazing. I'm glad we came, Kody. Dad, look, here comes more trouble. Some big shot asked Jesus, what is the greatest commandment? What does Jesus say, Kody? He tells him to love God first and his neighbor second. That is what great-grandma taught me in Sunday school last Sunday. And now Jesus is asking him a question. He asked them who Christ is. Whose son is he? Did you know, Kody? Did they know? They said something about King David, but they really had no answer. I wonder if they really know who Jesus is. It looks like they don't have anything more to say, Dad. And it's about time they leave Jesus alone. They just like to cause trouble, it seems. Well, let's go home, Dad. This has been a big day, and I am tuckered out. I'm with you, Kody. Let's go. And guess what? Kody and Dad were still sitting on the davenport, holding hands. Well, I think it's about supper time, Kody. Go wash your hands, and let's go get some tacos for our supper tonight. Oh, that sounds good. Thanks, Dad. Hello, boys and girls. This is Grandma Nancy, and I'm going to read to you a story about Kody traveling. It is a wonderful story about Jesus' life on earth, and each chapter will tell you special things about what Jesus did, and it can give you some good thinking too. I think you'll really like it. And here we are again, kids. This is Grandma Nancy. We're studying and reading the book Kody Travels, and this is Matthew 23. Hurry, Kody. We need to go to the grocery store. Okay, Grandma Pam. Our driveway is such a long one. Look at the deer over at Great-Grandpa's field. 7 of them, Kody. Look, one just jumped the fence. Grandma, could we stop by Great-Grandpa's and I would stay with him while you go to the store? We will stop and see. There's Great-Grandpa sitting in his lawn chair. Let's pull in, Grandma. Hi, Grandpa. May I stay with you while Grandma goes to the store? Oh, sure you can. What's up, Kody? I want to go back and be with Jesus. Will you go with me? I'll go, but you'll have to help me some. Okay, Grandpa. Let's go in the house and sit together. Here, hold my hand, Kody. And that's all it took. It was out over the fields, across the waters, and we are here. Grandpa, there's Jesus talking to all those people at the temple. Let's get closer. I'll need a place to sit, Kody. Here, Grandpa, you can sit here. Just look. Looks pretty serious. Let's listen. Jesus is scolding those who are always giving him trouble. He just told the people that your leaders tell us what to do, but they don't do what they tell you. Oh, that's something, Grandpa. It sure is, Kody. Jesus said those same guys like to be big shots. They like to be called by big names. But Jesus said, no way. We are here to help each other if we are to be someone. And listen to this, Kody. Jesus tells how these same guys stand in the way of others doing right, and that they take advantage of the widows. Jesus said something about the temple. That's pretty deep, Grandpa. But Jesus said that those religious leaders keep track of a lot of little things, but they forget the bigger things, like having mercy and like being faithful. Kody, this is a little deep for you, but Jesus just said those guys are blind, that they were full of extortions. Grandpa, what kind of leaders are these? Well, Kody, you see why Jesus is giving them a hard time. Jesus says that they are like those who stoned and killed the prophets. Wow. Kody, I don't think Jesus is trying to make a good impression on these men. He is really after them. He even called them hypocrites and snakes. Jesus says they won't escape hell. Now that is some kind of preaching. Grandpa, no wonder they want to get rid of Jesus. But Jesus is right. Grandpa, Jesus really feels for all these folks. He would like to gather them under his wings. He cares, but they won't come. Kody, Jesus knows these people. He knows they're going to suffer a lot of hurt because of what they have done by not accepting him. Kody, Jesus is about to leave, so why don't we go home? Okay, Grandpa, this is a lot to think about. Take my hand, Kody. Here, Grandpa. And so it was. Great-grandpa and Kody woke up together just as Grandma Pam walked in. When we get home, Kody, you can help me carry in the groceries. Well, I'm ready, Grandma. Goodbye, Grandpa. Come back. Hello, boys and girls. This is Grandma Nancy, and I'm going to read to you a story about Kody traveling. It is a wonderful story about Jesus' life on earth, and each chapter will tell you special things about what Jesus did, and it can give you some good thinking too. I think you'll really like it. Hello, boys and girls. This is Grandma Nancy. We're reading Kody Travels, and the chapter today is Matthew 24. Kody, would you come here, please? What do you want, Great-Grandpa? Remember I went with you to see Jesus last time? Yeah, I sure do, Grandpa. Okay, I just don't feel that I should go back this soon, so why don't you ask Caleb to go with you? I will ask him, Grandpa, but he's always working. I know, but ask him anyway. There he goes, Grandpa. He's out there with the goats again. Hey, Caleb, wait for me. May I help you, Caleb? Sure, Kody. Take a hold of this bucket and we'll carry the water together. Kody reached, Caleb reached, and together they picked up that heavy bucket of water. And guess what? That's all it took. Together they were off over the trees and across the clouds. And there he is, Caleb. Jesus is leaving the temple now. Let's drop down near where Jesus is standing with the disciples. Kody, we can hear him from here. Did you hear that? Jesus said that not one of the stones of the temple will be left on top of each other. Wow, what does that mean, Caleb? I'm not sure, Kody. But let's follow along as Jesus is going out there to the Mount of Olives. Maybe we will learn more there, Caleb. We can sit under the tree and listen. Kody, I hear what Jesus is saying. I think he's trying to explain about the ruin of the temple. I don't understand, but I remember that Great-Grandpa told us one time that Jesus was predicting when the Romans would come and tear down the temple. That sounds right, Caleb. And now Jesus is talking about how there will be a lot of hard times when this comes. I hear him, Caleb, but that is, oh, so deep for me. I know, Kody, but I remember Great-Grandpa saying that the Roman leader planned first to starve the people of Jerusalem, but business back in Rome called him, so he attacked and ruined the city. Now listen, Kody. Jesus is talking about the end of time. What is that, Caleb? Well, I guess it's when Jesus comes back another time and ends all that there is here on earth. Wow, Caleb, that will be awful. Yes, it will, Kody. Will you and I be here? I don't know, but Jesus says you need to be ready. Ready for what, Caleb? Well, it's going to be like in the days of Noah and the flood. I remember Great-Grandma teaching us on Sunday school. Everyone drowned except for 8 people, Caleb. Yeah, Kody, I think we need to go home now. But wait, Caleb, I hear Jesus say again, therefore, be you also ready, for in such an hour as you think not, the Son of Man will come. Caleb, that sounds pretty important. That sounds like back home when Dad says, be ready, it's about time to catch the school bus. Well, let's go, Kody. Okay, Caleb, take my hand. I got you, Kody. And so it was, they were both back home carrying that bucket of water to the goats. That sure was a good trip, Kody. Yes, but I'm glad to be home with those little goats again.